Welcome to r/entitled people, where we share stories from your lives about people who think the rules don't apply to them, and they should get what they want. Thank you, friends, for subscribing to the channel, and for so many likes. And today we have 3 great stories, so subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story: an entitled billionaire client gets his painful karma. The second story: management edit my working hours not to pay. Because of me, they were fined. The third story: rude customer leaves restaurant only to realize he has lost sentimental charm from bracelet, and petty server refuses to look for it. Throws out note with name and number. The first story is, never mind, call an ambulance. Painfully instant karma. I once worked at this wannabe upscale Italian place. It had good food and could have been everything it claimed to be if the owner wasn't a psycho. But those are tales for another time. One night, a rather large middle-aged man and his wife came in. They both ordered some sort of common mixed drink. Can't remember exactly. And the guy proceeds to explain what it is to me in a very condescending tone as if I'm stupid. MB is moneybags. DW is ditzy wife. Me is me. MB: you make sure to tell the bartender exactly what I want. Make sure they make it right. Me: I'll make sure the bartender knows. He's a very good bartender, he won't disappoint. I grab their drinks, and to my surprise, they're both happy with them on the first try. I was sure they would send him back. They then order several apps, and a few minutes later I drop off the first round of apps and take their entree orders and another drink order for 2 glasses of wine. Off to the kitchen I go. A few minutes later their last app order comes up and I drop it off at their table. MB: whose is this? I didn't order this. Me: I have it written on my ticket for you, sir. Do you not want this? MB: ticket? What ticket? Me: the ticket for your order, sir. I'm just as confused as him now. Surely he saw me write his order down. Surely this is not his first time in a restaurant. His wife thankfully interjects. DW: yes, we did order this, hun. Remember? MB: stares at app and then grunts. Okay. I leave feeling confused and a little weirded out by them, but just think he was just forgetful. I go tend to other tables and grab their salads. I get back to the table and I realize that these 2 people, who have had 2 drinks each over a stretch of time, they weren't pounding drinks, are absolutely SH-housed. They went from 0 to sloppy in minutes. I assume they've taken something extra with dinner, placing salads on the table. MB: what's this? Me: your salad, sir. MB: I didn't order this. I ordered steak. MB: I know, sir, your steak is coming. The salad comes with it. MB: I didn't order this. You messed up. DW giggling and slurring. Honey, the salad comes with the food. Just eat it and shut up. MB stares at salad. Bring us another glass of wine and bread. I'm very rich, you know. I make a lot of money. You've maybe met a millionaire before, but I'm a billionaire. I bet you've never met a billionaire, have you? I bet not. Me: no, sir. I don't think I have before. MB: ha, well, today's your lucky day. Me: I'm gonna go place your order, okay? I'll be back in a moment. I run to my manager and explain the situation. She asks how much I've served them and to cut them off, which I already did. I never placed that order for more wine. She goes to talk to them and gauge the situation, and verifies that they are hella effed up. She tells me to keep serving like normal, and to stretch out the meal, and she will call a cab for them and have it waiting. Basically, we would let them finish eating and give them the option, ultimatum, of taking the cab or a ride with the cops. I tell her it's no problem, they didn't seem to be in a hurry. I was wrong. Their food is up. I grab it and take it to the table. Yet again, MB doesn't remember he has ordered food. MB stares at plate in front of him. MB: I didn't order this, SH. Me: sir, this is the ribeye you ordered. MB: I didn't effing order this, SH. Take it back. MB sees wife's plate. MB: did you order this, SH? DW: yeah, we both ordered, hun. Slurring. MB: take this SH back. Me: do you not want your food, sir? I can pack it to go if you'd like. MB: yeah, that. Effing whatever. I grab their plates and tell my manager they are trying to leave. She says the cab is on the way and to stall on their check. I pack their food but keep it in the back and grab the dessert tray. We would plate new desserts each day on a crystal platter, and take the platter to the tables to tempt them into ordering a dessert. I doubted they would be interested in any dessert, but I was stalling, as I thought they didn't want a dessert, and frankly they seemed bewildered by the concept of dessert. They did gather their thoughts enough to demand the check, so I tell them someone is working on it, and I'll have it out in a moment and I leave. In the meantime, I take the dessert tray to another table of mine, 1 table down from them. I'm explaining the desserts when I see the customers I'm talking to get worried looks on their faces as they look past me. I turn around to see MB stumble lumbering up from his table. He's using the backs of other customers' chairs to steady himself. I realize I have to do something. He was clearly trying to leave. Steps in front of MB. Me, sir? Sir? MB, where's the door? Me, sir, you haven't paid yet. You cannot leave. MB, I'm done. I'm leaving. Me, sir, you have to wait for your check, and we have your food still. MB then grabs my upper arms and pins them to my side, lifting me up and shoving me out of the way. Being physically picked up isn't normal for most grown people, I assume. But at nearly 6 foot and 160 pounds, it was extra surprising for me. My other tables around me are shocked and worried for me, asking if I'm okay. I just say I'm sorry my tables and chase after MB. I see him headed for the front door and I call to my manager, who has heard the commotion by now and come to see. I point furiously at MB, who just slipped out of the front door. She darts out after him, telling me to call the cops. I pick up the phone and start dialing numbers when my manager pops back in the front door and says, "Never mind, call an ambulance." MB walked out our front door and completely missed all the front steps, plunging face first into the concrete sidewalk out front, breaking his shoulder, among other things in the process. When the ambulance got there and asked what happened, MB turns around and points to DW, his wife, and yells, "That B pushed me." The paramedics looked to us with faces that said, "Is that what happened?" And we all just nodded. Thing is, DW was still struggling to get up from her chair when her husband made it outside. But we weren't going to disagree because we had had enough of their SH for one evening. And we weren't going to set ourselves up in case MB decided to take legal action blaming us for his BS. I don't know if he was a billionaire, but I don't doubt he had money. Most of our customers did. They had to. We were so overpriced. Edit. I should state that the cops never got involved. At most, they just had a very expensive hospital bill. The second story is, my time card might have been edited. I work 10:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. I checked my time card for last week and I had it said I clocked out at 5:14 a.m. Conveniently the same week I was about to go into overtime. I haven't left early, let alone missed a day in over a year. My manager claims someone else accidentally used your code. And it's also odd because I don't have someone that relieves me until 6 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. He said he would check the cameras, double check I was there my whole shift, and add the hours, putting me into overtime they have to pay. He checked and sure enough I was there until 6:40. He said he changed it, and it was changed on ADP for about a day. I go back to look today, day before payday, and it still says I clocked out at 5:14 a.m. This seems very fishy to me, and now I'm needing to go over all my old time cards to make sure this hasn't been happening. Side note, this was also conveniently the week I called OSHA on my workplace for not having running water / working toilet, among 5 other things they got violated for. They don't know who submitted a complaint, but it's an open secret that it was me, because I'm the only one who will speak up about these things. I find the timing of this super weird, and I called him today and he had about 5 different excuses as to why it can't be added to this week's check. He was nervous over the phone. Anyone else think this is really weird? Update. I work 10:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. Always on time. Always leave on time or later. Overtime. Check my time card on the ADP app. It said I clocked out at 5:14 a.m. on the 18th, which is not right. I know I left 6:40 a.m. that day. Coincidentally, the same 72 hours, I submitted an OSHA complaint, and they got fined. This happens. I also was about to go into overtime. The money I was missing I needed for rent. I worked for it. So as my manager wasn't helping, besides saying someone must have accidentally used my clock-in number, found out that was a lie, he couldn't tell me who or where, which would all be tracked via ADP. Red flag. Sorry you can't pay your rent. Your money will be on your next check. No, I wasn't taking that as an answer. I do not work for free. I called my old manager. He was always more helpful. He said he'd get me the number to the main office payroll lady. I call her. Everything's going good. She's looking into it. She then tells me the clock out was system generated. She couldn't tell me what that meant besides a glitch. Yeah, right. And that I would get my money on Monday when the owner came back to town. Again, I wasn't taking that as an answer. I asked her to please write me an email explaining why you can't pay me, why you're making me work for free, and why exactly this happened. Remember how I said the phone call was going good? Her tone completely changed. I can probably write you an email. I asked why probably. I'd like a written record of why you're making me work for free. Perma B-Bed, let me call you back in an hour. 10 minutes later, I get a text from her. Perma B-Bed, the rest of your check will be at the office at 3:30 p.m. Have a good weekend. Your GD right it will, lady. I basically had to bully these people into getting the money I worked for and rely on to have a place to live. I just submitted my retaliation report because the timing of this was too perfect, and I believe it was intentional because they got fined by OSHA because of me. Her lack of wanting to give me details, a written explanation, if it'll happen again, etc. was just red flags all over in my head. I'm pretty sure I made the owner drive 6 hours into town just to drop it off. Always keep track of your time card. You do not work for free. Edit. Got into my work and got my check, with a desperate apology text from my manager after I had to shake him down for answers. And the last story is karma for the win. I work at a bar and restaurant and got called in 4 hours early for my shift due to a 20 top showing up unannounced and a 6 top walking in right after. Owner was working and probably could have handled it, but called me in because she recognized the 6 top as one of our regular groups that needs lots of attention. You know the kind. Everything okay? Anything else I can bring you? Nope, we're all good. 2 minutes later, how have you not brought me another drink I didn't ask you for yet? So anyways, I show up and can see my boss is in the weeds. Dirty glasses and dishes everywhere. New tables still walking in, etc. I can't even talk to her because rude old B, Rob, from the 6 top is up at the bar complaining about something. Never really did find out what she was complaining about other than the chicken. Hadn't even gotten their meals yet. Anyways, I digress. Rob eventually joins her party back out on the patio. We served food on the patio last year, but our kitchen can't handle the extra tables when we're full. Since we just kept getting negative reviews, we've discontinued table service out there. We're very upfront about this, so I run their appetizer to their table inside the restaurant and leave it at the empty table within eyesight of the patio. Could I have said something to them? Sure. Had I not had previous interactions with them and their attitudes, I most certainly would have. As I'm beginning to drop off their meals, they start walking in from the patio, and Rob has a go at me because the appetizer is supposed to come before the meal. Yeah, that's been sitting there a while. So enjoy your cold, mushy, loaded tots, and I drop the rest of their meals. Rob looks at me all disapprovingly and barks at me that they all need waters. So I ask each individual person if they would like a water. 2 out of 6 want waters, and Rob is not happy I foiled her hydration takeover. Perfect. Now it's all you can eat wing day. You get 12 to start and can order more in batches of 6. Rob has no intention of following the rules I've explained, because she's special and wants a reorder of 2 different sauces. Kitchen won't split 3 and 3, so she gets 12 more wings I know D-well she won't eat all of. Fine. I'll just foil her plan later when I refuse to give her a to-go box. Petty and wasteful, I know. Doesn't matter. Rob goes up to the bar and owner gives her a to-go box and says it's not an issue she wants to deal with. Owner is usually a stickler, so can only imagine the reaming Rob gave her earlier. Honestly, our wings aren't even that good to begin with, and I hope, they're even worse reheated, and so have at it, Rob. Sometime later, I assume, Rob is putting her to-go box in her fridge at home, smiling smugly to herself about how she got one over on that servant girl when, oh no, she realizes she's lost a precious charm off her bracelet. She immediately calls to let the owner know to be on the lookout for it. Owner dutifully passes the message along to the closer to check when sweeping up for the night. Surprise, that's me. I could have moved tables. I could have checked on the patio, but like I said, I'm petty. So yeah, I swept it. Up the note with her name and number on it, and I dumped it right in the trash. Treat people with decency and you shall be rewarded in kind. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to know when the new video comes out, and hit the like button to support the channel.